Well, I forgot to turn off the GIF. Damn it. Welcome everybody to another episode of New Book Who Dis. I am your host, Death Metal Hero, and with me we've got Ryan Hack from Bric-a-Brac. And you're on issue 3. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Welcome, sir. This is actually the first time we've gotten a chance to talk. So how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on. I'm glad to be able to talk about the book and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are you reading right now? Like what's currently tripping your trigger story wise?
Well,
or do you not read while you're creating the book?
No, I do. Right now I'm reading Superman for tomorrow. I know it's kind of like Brian Azzarello. I guess, people really don't like a lot of his writing. I mean, I know that people like 100 Bullets, but in contemporary times, I think people have not been so fond of Brian Azzarello's writings. And I think, think people should give For Tomorrow another chance because it's really like better than Batman Hush, like by a long shot. I think Batman Hush. Okay. Yeah, I think Batman Hush is a little like, it's story-wise, it's kind of like stupid, but like obviously it's super cool to have all those characters and stuff like that. And I'm sure it was better to read like issue by issue as opposed to like as a trade, because it does. Yeah. Because you really probably, that's what someone told me once, is that it was really better to read in issues, and I agree with that. But with Superman for Tomorrow, it I don't know, I feel like Jim Lee is still at the top of his game, and man, I think people should give it another shot. That's
the story that he did. That was the book he went on to right after he finished Batman Hush.
Right.
Because I remember Batman Hush was really like the last DC book that I was reading.
Wow.
For a very long time. Like Jimmy Palmiotti did some, I think it was some kind of U.S. zombie or something like that, which was a pretty cool little story. But I'm not super big on DC, but I do remember the Brian Azzarello Jim Lee run, and I was picking that up because hot off of Hush. Jim Lee was, still doing some really good work.
Oh yeah, even now he's still, amazing. It's crazy how there's so many talented people out there, but he's still. I mean, he's not at the top of his game, but by any means, but he's still incredible. He's still comparable to those people. What else am I reading? I'm also doing. I really like. I've been kind of really artwork focused because I really think like Dan Mora. If you know what his art.
Oh yeah, Dan Mora does some great stuff.
Incredible.
He did Klaus with Grant Morrison.
Yeah, that's one that I was looking at, and then also his what is it? Once and Future.
I'm currently reading that. Cool. I'm digging that book. There's there's a few story things that are just kind of like make you roll your eyes just a little bit, but for the most part, Kieran Gillen's doing a great job.
Oh, and his Darth Vader is incredible, and same with Greg Pak. Yep. Like it's like I know people kind of like the Disney Star Wars is really controversial, but man, I'm telling you that
some of the comics have been pretty good.
And also
I've been picking up Darth Vader since the beginning.
Oh yeah,
the regular Star Wars line and Darth Vader I've been picking up from the beginning. So yeah, I hear you, man.
And War of the Bounty Hunters too. Like man, that was cool. And then they did the Age of the Old Republic, where they did certain like a couple years ago. They did like a General Grievous issue, and then a Jango Fett issue, and then an Anakin Skywalker. Those were pretty good too. So you know how it goes. I mean, that's kind of what I've been reading lately, but nothing super independent or anything. Like more like superhero based. I feel like it's funny. Like all the comic books I've read that I've really, really liked are really more so superhero type. Like I really love Grant Morrison, and he's probably my favorite writer. And well, I guess they are probably my favorite writer now that he's changed his pronouns.
Well, we love Grant no matter what they decide to call themselves.
Right. And there's I really like his stuff. So Grant Morrison is probably my main influence, and I always am reading his stuff too. So that's kind of what
I was hooked from the first opening page of Invisibles.
Oh yeah.
What's his name with the Molotov cocktail? Fuck. Yeah. And then he hucks it. I was like, all right, I'm in. I'm sold on this book. Where are we going?
Justice League, and then oh my god, like there's X-Men is great, but then even today he's still kicking it with Green Lantern. Like, and the cool thing is
him and Liam Sharp have been doing a great job on Green Lantern.
most underrated, I feel like, artist. Like, no one gives him
I agree.
his comeuppance. He
You
absolutely
know that dude has
deserves it.
been like penciling comics and drawing comics like
Yeah.
from his kitchen. Like, dude doesn't even have a legit art studio, and he just did a Kickstarter for an art book also has like a creator-owned story in it. And he's now actually able to get a house and set up a proper studio now. I am so excited. I cannot wait to see what this dude comes up with now that he's going to have like an actual place to work.
That's crazy.
You know?
He's been working in comics for like 20 years. I mean, he's not.
Oh, he's been working in comics for longer than that. Like
Maybe,
early 90s, 91, he was doing stuff for Marvel UK. Like he created Death's Head too. Like he designed that character.
That head character is so cool. I love
that character is so 90s. It's ridiculous. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. They
Let's
did
say
it.
hi to the
Marvel
chat
did
here.
Death's Head. I think recently they tried to do some kind of thing where Death's Head killed
Death's Head
2 killed Death's Head and.
Well, I mean, that was when they introduced Death's Head 2. He came in and he killed Death's Head. But most recently, they tried to do another little miniseries where Death's Head, the original one, came back and and killed Death's Head 2.
Oh, that's so funny.
What's up, Double Flyer? Hail, everybody. What's going on, Shadow Hawk? Welcome. We got a Past Master Dan. What's going on? Hail. And a leg kick. Turn off the GIF. Yeah, I know. I always forget. Let's see. Oh, we've got a flying feline. What's going on? Welcome. Skull. I just have coffee tonight, but Let's see. And we got a Pedro Ang. What's going on, Pedro? Welcome, sir. Thanks for coming to hang out. And a Good Stuff. Hail. Welcome, Good Stuff. Thank you guys so much for coming to hang out. Appreciate you guys being here tonight. But yeah, man, I work in my local comic shop. Like I work in the comic shop I grew up in, so I'm always trying to find new stuff to read. Like I'm really doing more of a deep dive into the back of previews, trying to find like the indie stuff. Like I'm looking for ads that are about this big in the back of previews with just a cover and the tiniest little write up and like, all right, does this write up catch my attention? This tiny little paragraph. These people probably paid like $300, $400, $500 to get this little tiny ad in previews, right? Mm-hmm. Those are the people that I want to check their book out. I want to buy a copy of that book and see what they got going on. That's what happened with Source Point. Source Point Press has been putting out a lot of really like small stuff, and they started with those little ads, and now they've got 3-4 pages in previews. Yeah.
That's so
I
cool.
love seeing that. I also love seeing, crowdfunded books get the prestige format out, like Wailing Blade. I don't know if you're familiar with that book.
No, I don't know about that.
That came out a few years back. It was, I think, it was done on Kickstarter.
Okay.
And Indiegogo, and then it showed up in previews.
Wow.
And I missed one of the crowdfunding campaigns, and then I was able to pick up like the first issue and the second issue through previews, and it was great. Sometimes awesome. you don't need all of the tchotchkes and stuff that goes along with it. Like if you're into a book, that is awesome. Like I love getting the extra paraphernalia for stuff that I love.
Right.
But sometimes especially if you miss the campaign, being able to grab the book from previews from your LCS, that's great. You're covering both bases in that regard. You know what I mean? That's what Polito does with Lady Death and all of his Coffin Comics books.
Then it puts them into trades and I know that Dark Horse has been picking up stuff from different Kickstarters too. They just picked up, like, one of my friends does this book on Kickstarter called Beastlands, and now his book is being distributed by Dark Horse, and they're going to make a collection of it. So it's just kind of crazy how that happens, So
well, this is indie comics. This is indie comics, and I don't know if you're familiar with like the indie comic scene from the 80s, the black and white indie comic scene that birthed the Ninja Turtles and, Art Crumb. I mean, Art Crumb was in the 70s, but, like that whole like indie comic scene from the 80s where you had to hustle. You had to call shops. You had to go to conventions. You had to, put ads in the little fanzines and whatnot. And you had to get the word out there about your book. You had to do the legwork. This is kind of like what we're doing now. doing these shows, talking to different creators, talking about the books that we got coming out, getting excited about different books. This is doing the legwork,
Yeah.
This is contacting people. This is connecting with people. And, you don't need necessarily a publisher to get into shops. Just call your shops. Be like, hey, I've got these issues. I'd like to send you a couple for you to check out. See if they sell. If you want more, then here's this X deal. Because, we all still love going to comic shops. Even if we're not buying anything new, we love going to look at the extra, the apparel, the shirts, the figures and whatnot. But we also like going through the back issues.
Right.
I want more indie books in comic shops.
Yeah.
Especially my shop. I mean, that's like one of my goals for the next year is try to get more indie books in the shop.
Right. Yeah, I like that. I volunteered at a comic book store for 2 years, and I mean, I just went on Saturdays, but it was really fun.
Yeah.
They would have me go in the back and go through all the back issues and organize them because they've been picked through. And so that was really fun. I mean, the hard thing was finding out they separated Amazing Spider-Man from Spectacular Spider-Man and all those. So there was some difficult with the adjectives. There was some hard things going on there.
It's just in our shop, it's all under Spider-Man, and then it's Amazing Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man, all that stuff. It's Spider-Man, and then the subtitles. So amazing, the adjectives. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so fun going through those. I remember seeing that was when I was in high school, and I just remember just finding books that I now I love the covers or things that I didn't know happened, or it was just really fun to go through those. But I think you're right. That's one of the fun things to do at comic book stores. But I think the one thing lacking is the independent books, and so I think that if only we could make that happen some more and get those, because I mean, there's in zine shops and stuff like that. It seems like they're very popular. I remember going to some in New York or Chicago where there's these small zine shops, and there's plenty of, for example, in Brooklyn and in New York, there's Desert Island, and they Desert Island, comics. I think that's what it's called. And they have, all these zines and stuff like that. They have shelves and shelves of them, but those really should be at the comic book stores. You know what I mean? Those really should be somewhere else in the same. So.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta put them where the fans are. Right. And if it's in an odd place, like a little tiny shop, and people are picking them up there, fucking great. I mean, comics used to be in convenience stores. You go to a gas station and go in to pay for your gas. There's a spinner rack of comics. Hey kids, comics. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's the reason why they sold so well, because they were everywhere.
Right.
But and again, back then there weren't as many forms of entertainment as there weren't as many forms of holy shit, look at me, bright, flashy, shiny entertainment as there is now.
Right.
The imagination was still the King FX, if you know what I mean. Video games didn't quite have it. Movies had something, but they couldn't quite capture what you could do in comic books.
Right.
Now, since we've got CGI, we can do a whole fleet of ships. We can do all this stuff, and the comics have kind of taken a back seat because they're not as visually stimulating. Unless you're looking at Brian Hitch doing The Authority or Jim Lee doing the X-Men. Oh my God, give me Brian Hitch doing The Authority again. Holy,
that would be great.
Warren Ellis and Brian Hitch, that first run of The Authority was so goddamn good.
But it's crazy how nowadays the movies are taking from comics. It almost seems like every single Netflix thing or every single new deal is is an established comic book. And now there's this common thing where people try to get into the industry to have a pitch of a show, and then so it's it's a weird thing where now it seems like the tides have turned and everyone's using comic book. It's comic books used to take influence from movies and stuff like that, but now it's kind of backfired, and now it's movies are taking influence from comic books.
Well, I mean, movies have been picking over comics and books for decades.
Right.
I mean, obviously, again, Ninja Turtles got made into a movie, and that's this huge marketing juggernaut of an IP, right? But later on, The Crow. The Crow was another black and white indie book that got turned into a flick. So I mean, they've been picking up, movies. Movies have been picking it from comics for a long time.
Right.
Now it seems that because Marvel and DC are these recognizable brands, they're brands more than they are comic book companies, because most people know them because of the movies that have been put out rather than the comics. So the dynamic has shifted,
right?
But what we do over here is we create stories like they did back in the day, like passionate about it. What I see a lot of stuff that's new, there's no passion in the storytelling. It's like you said, it's because it's Marvel and DC, and they want to say, oh look, I worked for this IP over here,
right?
So give me a Netflix deal. Let me write something for you. Give me a series.
Yeah.
But that's not what we're doing here. Would that be cool? Sure, that'd be fun, whatever. What we're doing here is we are creating stories because we want to tell good stories. The stuff that we grew up reading influenced us because it was well written. These people cared about the story that they were telling because, they took it seriously. I don't feel like a lot of these new writers take it seriously,
Right.
So I mean that's why we've broken off, and that's why we do what we do now.
It's the lifeblood. It's like the God country of comic books. It's like really the people who are really bringing it alive, I think, is the independent people,
I agree.
The new ideas and it's exciting. It's exciting to look at Kickstarter or Indiegogo and see what's up and see what people are doing, trying to make happen. I think that's just such a cool thing, that we have the opportunity to do that on such a large scale where anyone from all across the world can fund it if they want to.
That's right.
So it's
we're
a very
worldwide.
Cool thing. Yeah.
That's the beauty of this whole thing, is that we have people hither, thither, and yon. All corners of the world, all over the planet, people coming together for the love of comic books, for the love of good story. It reminds me of metal, because metal brings people together all over the world, all kinds of different metal, brought together because we love metal, and because we love comics. So, all right. So let's take a look at your campaign here.
Okay.
See if I can bring this up. So tell me, what influenced you? What influenced this story?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've always loved Christmas. And by the way, today's Three Kings Day. So, kind of that epiphany, keep going with this Christmas thing. We're still going on this holiday. I mean, I think the 12 days of Christmas is over, but we're still Epiphany. So we're still riding that wave of holiday-ness. Anyway, this story really came about from my love of Christmas, but really my love for, like, if you ever watched the Rankin Bass specials, like Rudolph. Obviously.
Oh yeah, the old stop motion animation ones.
Right.
Yes.
And they had, not only was it Rudolph, but they had The Year Without a Santa Claus, or they had Frosty, of course. And the crazy thing is that it really was a cinematic universe.
Yeah.
Right. It was seriously a cinematic universe, because not only did Rudolph and Frosty actually met, and Santa Claus had the same costume from the very beginning.
Oh yeah, they used the same models.
Yeah, exactly. So it really was like a cinematic universe, if you will. So, I mean, obviously the characters, there wasn't any like awesome fight scenes or anything like that, but what would happen if you created like a planet of Rankin Bass and like actually made it comic booky and epic, and there's a war going on and it has Star Wars elements like space battles, all that kind of stuff. And, take the characters seriously. I mean, I know that some of the characters in the Rankin Bass movies are taken seriously, but then there's musical numbers and there's all these different things that kind of make it a little silly. But I mean, the songs are great, by the way. But
they're fun.
Yeah, they're definitely fun. But what would
Frog
happen
G,
if you made it? Yeah, Frog G is a great supporter. Thank you.
Fantastic.
So much. Yeah, he's an awesome guy. But anyway,
we love the frog here.
Yeah. And yes, that was the desire, was to kind of create something that the ultimate Christmas special. Like, if you could never watch another one, this would be it. This would be the one that's like, this is it. And so yeah, it has everything in it. We have we have a Father Christmas. We have the Ghost of Christmas Past, Present, and Future. We have, Sugar Plum Fairies, Nutcrackers, Good King Wenceslas, Jack Frost, all these types of characters. And it's a world that it's inhabited. It's a world of Christmas things. There's there's desert settlements. There's underwater settlements that are Christmas themed. It's a kind of like a Tolkien-esque world.
Okay, but all centering around Christmas.
Right. And so the story really follows a journey of a young boy who's trying to stop this war on planet Christmas, because it used to be a peaceful place. But suddenly this event happened that kind of rumbled everything up, and now the Nutcrackers want to take over with their new technology that they have, and basically run terror on the entire villages and settlements on the planet. And our main character is this young boy who still has the Christmas spirit in him, whatever that's worth in this war-torn world. And he tries to find Father Christmas, who he believes has still the magic left to stop it. And that's his journey. He meets a lot of interesting folks along the way. There's a lot of fighting, a lot of battles, just a lot of fun adventure. So that's epic. Really what the story is all about. Yeah.
It sounds epic.
Yeah, it is definitely epic.
And it's funny because I'm not sure that that's something I would ever think that I would say about a Christmas themed something. I mean, I guess the only other thing I could think of was what was that movie, The Rise of the Guardians or something like that animated movie.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was fun. I mean, I did not expect to enjoy that, and it was really cool.
Yeah.
So epic Christmas. Epic Christmas.
Right, that's what we're going for. Epic Christmas stuff of epic proportions.
Excellent. Should we run the trailer here?
Go ahead. Yeah, absolutely.
When we last visited Planet Christmas, the Nutcrackers were at the height of their powers, but the tables are turning. A secret enemy has been manipulating the battle from behind the scenes, and now his plan for intergalactic domination is about to be put into effect. Our hero Garrett will encounter new friends and unlikely allies who might help him defeat the planet-conquering warlord, but there's no telling if they'll make it out alive. This 25-page third issue is fully illustrated by Raphael Sam, lettered by the talented Eric Hodson, and written by myself, Ryan Hawk. Back this book and enter the fantastical yet dangerous world of bric-a-brac.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Hey, quick, short, and to the point. I mean, that's perfect.
Yeah, that's the goal with those, is that you tend to overthink them.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just to give the basic idea, the basic points, like this idea and this idea and this idea. Come on, you want to check this out? That's really all it's supposed to do. So well done on that.
Thanks.
All right, so let's see. The wages of war. Wait. The wages of war. The Nutcrackers have never been close to taking over Planet Christmas, or have never been closer to taking over Planet Christmas. All right, the ignominious. Ooh, hey, good word usage. Ignominious Caesar Dimitrius supplied them with the advanced weapons and technology. The wooden soldiers have been an unstoppable force against the under-equipped militias and civilians who desperately fight to defend their homes. Oh, shit! Christmas Planet is in trouble, guys. So, and so these are the interior pages.
Yes. Yep. So these are for issue 3. Yep.
Okay. How close to being done with issue 3 are you guys?
We're about 20% done,
Okay.
So I mean, we need the gas, which is the funding, of course, but we are. I mean, we're still producing pages as we're doing the campaign. So hopefully, by the time the end of the month comes, maybe we'll be 30% or 40%. It's just like, excellent. I do like to have a lot of the book done. I mean, hopefully by the next time I launch issue 4, I'll paid for most of the book already. Like, I won't have to fund. Because again, 6,000 is a lot, especially when I don't have such a huge following. So it's really difficult to get that funding, So I would love to, pay for as much of it as possible on my own the next time around. But
be able to reinvest.
Yeah. Yep.
So your artist, is he doing the line work and the color, just doing the whole shebang?
We've got 2 kind of artists. So the cover artist is a guy named Tom Barton, and he's worked on. So these are the covers. This is the Good King Wenceslas, and the main cover here with the kind of the Rogues Gallery. basically he's an incredible artist who's worked on League of Legends promotional art. He's worked on a bunch of stuff for what is the company? Not Blizzard, but I think I forget the name of the company. But anyway, he's worked for them and a lot of video game stuff. And he's just an incredible, like, if I really suggest looking his Instagram up to anyone who's interested. Tomo_Tron on Instagram, on Twitter. I mean, he has incredible concept designs of different monsters and creatures, and he is really awesome. And I met him about 4 years ago now. It's kind of crazy how long it's been, but like we kind of started talking about this project and this whole idea of like a Christmas story. And yeah, he's been a part of it since the beginning. And but Raphael Sand, the interior artist, was again another person I met about 4 years ago when we started working on this. And you kind of meet someone who, I think when you're a writer, if you meet someone who you're like, this person is so speaks the language of this universe somehow. Like he so understands like what is going on.
There's a collaborative magic that you just feel when something clicks.
100%. Totally. And he definitely gets the universe. He gets the vibe we're going for, where it's like it's a Pixar-y vibe, but yet there's real stakes. We're talking about like a Star Wars level of stakes where, people get shot, but you don't see blood or anything like that.
Right.
It's a PG kind of thing, but yet you
can still take it seriously because you know what's going on.
There are stakes and there's a lot going on, and there's actual character depth, and there's a lot of fun, interesting. It's a journey story. It's an adventure story, and there's actual dangers out there because again, there's a war going on, and I, want to make sure it's a fun story. But definitely look up Tom. Yeah, thank you, Frog. I really suggest like Raphael is on Instagram too, and you should check him out because he does a lot of fun stuff like that too. Like he'll draw fan characters, Street Fighter characters. He just did a whole round of Street Fighter characters, and now he's probably moving on to Studio Ghibli characters, and he's just a really, really awesome illustrator too. So I was
Pedro wants to know, was it Riot Games you were thinking of? Okay.
I don't play video games, so it's like hard to equate. But anyway, so I was really, really blessed from the bottom of my heart for these awesome artists, because this story would not be at all what it is. And then of course my letterer Eric, who he is an incredible. I mean, if you probably know Indie Volt, the show, and he's on Twitter, and has this book called Dreaded Dinosaur on Webtoons, and he's a really cool guy. And he's a great letterer, and I think the cool thing about him is that he understands every kind of type of character. So the Nutcrackers have their way of speaking, the elves have their way of speaking, the human characters have their way of speaking, and the Jack Frost, who's a big ice golem, has his way of speaking too. It's really kind of cool how he manages
the distinctions.
Change. I think it's just super cool, because I've had a lot of letterers not care about those things. They're just like, oh, everyone has the same lettering and blah 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 blah. But like, he
it's
is
like writing everybody with the same voice, even if they're saying something different. I mean,
because lettering, I mean, it takes. I think if you think about it, it takes up a fourth of a page, and it really is. It is crucial to like make it work. Make it work for the story. Like, don't
bad lettering can absolutely kill the flow of a book.
Miracle Man by Alan Moore. Like, that's a perfect example of bad lettering and how it can ruin a book, even though it's written perfectly and illustrated perfectly.
That's the reason why it's a little tough to get through. It's kind of like It's like the lettering overcooked the story, and now you're just kind of gnawing on what should be a good steak.
Right.
It's still flavorful, but motherfucker's overcooked.
Right. Yeah. You just need to make sure that, you have good letterer, and then just that, again, the lettering works for the story. Because again, if you think about it, it's covering up so much of the real estate on the page. It really is, especially if you have a lot of dialogue. So that's one thing as a writer you need to be mindful of, is like, are you putting too much dialogue in? If your dialogue runs longer than the page, you really need to consider chopping that down. Like, you know what I mean?
Just a bit.
That is, because I usually use the 12 size font and like Courier, and like if it over exceeds that page, the dialogue and the way I space it out, I know that it's not it's too much.
Yeah.
There's a way. I mean, comic books, it's about ease, and like Raphael understands like how you can switch from one thing to another thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes, like as a writer, I feel like I still have this difficulty of like putting multiple actions in one panel because you're a writer. And you don't understand like how that works. I used to get that comment from artists all the time. Like you can't just it is
infuriating to be like, how the hell am I supposed to? Okay, you want like 3 ghost figures doing because it's
yeah. So I'm glad that I learned that very early on, but still I struggle with that because when you're a writer, you really have no idea like how. I mean, you can visualize it in your mind, but really you have to be able to draw to understand how those mechanics work. And so
this is why I always recommend, even if you can't draw, just like stick figure it out, thumbnail it out, just that way you understand, okay, I can only depict one of these actions here, so that's what I've found helped a writer that I was working with back in the day.
Yeah.
Me and a buddy of mine, I had to explain to him just that, and I had him just start stick figuring things out, and that helped to eliminate that happening.
Yeah, but it's just I love the mechanics of comic books. Like it could.
Oh yeah, totally.
And I love a great channel, by the way. I'm sure you've seen it. Cartoonist Kayfabe. Like they break it down, and like they make. I thought I knew a lot about comic books, but
for the love of comics, that's what it is. I mean,
these guys. They know so much. It's what's his name? The guy from. What's his name? The guys.
He does the book Red Room, and I can't.
He did the
Piskor, Ed Piskor. Yeah.
And then the other guy. Anyway, they know their stuff.
They're fun.
And they're fun to talk to listen to. And I mean, like they bring up things about comic books I never considered before, like certain comments about certain artists, like blackspace. Like, oh, blackspace is a bad thing, and you don't want that. Like when there's certain things that they talk about that I'm like, oh wow, that's like really interesting. I never thought about that before. And the way how the language of lettering as well, like how one bubble needs to go this way, but it can't be, but the next one can't be like this way under it. Like it has to be like kind of like a stairway.
You got to lead the eye. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to lead the eye. Otherwise it gets confusing.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've read panels where you go through and you're like, hold on, who says what next? Are they saying this at the same time? What the fuck's going on?
Yeah. So it's fun to watch those guys talk about it because it makes me learn more. But I think the learning of the collaborating in comic books is always something that I've been attracted to. It's what's drawn me into comic books. And I used to write prose, but I'm telling you, it's very lonely to write prose and to have more people around. It's great. Especially because I'm not writing full time. I have like a job outside of this whole thing, and it's like I want to when I have enough money to continue to throw money at my passions, but it's not something I know it's not something, at least at the moment, I can full on pursue forever. But it's something I want to continue to learn and grow. And
absolutely.
So anyway, it's always a learning process.
Exactly. I mean, but that's what happens when you love something and you're doing it because you enjoy it. You've got a story to tell. You want to continuously grow as an artist, as a writer, as a creator. It's not like, oh, well, I've made my book. I'm just gonna, sit on my laurels here now and not do a fucking thing. No, this is about like making good content. This is about continuing the journey. I don't know a writer or artist alive that worth their fucking salt that doesn't want to continuously get better, constantly sharpen that axe, constantly refine the skills.
Yeah.
If you're not looking to do that, then why are you here?
Yes, exactly.
Question. But this page is beautiful, by the way. I love the action of Santa with the battle axe, just lopping off the tentacle.
Yeah.
Odin doing his best Santa impression there.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. That is for sure.
All right, let's see.
As you can see, he's a very powerful being, so he's a good asset in the War of Christmas. So where did he go? What is he doing? Why did he lose his powers? We will find out.
This has this dragon kind of reminds me a bit of Scotty Young here.
Yes.
His style definitely gives me a little bit of that vibe. But all right, let's go take a look at the tiers since we've been drooling over the artwork here and kind of going off on tangents about comics. But that's kind of how this show goes. Sometimes.
I like that. That's all right.
Well, I mean that's kind of like how I like to do interviews, for lack of a better word. I like to have conversations. Mm-hmm. I don't really plot out questions. I just ask questions. I look at the campaign. I talk. I pick up on stuff. I don't know. I feel like it's a lot more fun that way.
Yeah.
Much more natural, much more relaxed. Because sometimes when it's an interview, people get really kind of stiff and like, oh God, am I going to say something stupid? No, hi, didn't turn the GIF off at the beginning of the show. Already did something stupid. There we go. Let's have fun.
Right.
Yeah, hey, we got a Woodrow hanging out in the chat. What's going on, brother? This looks beautiful, he says.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I agree. There is a sausage fest going on this Friday, tomorrow, for Uncorked on Good Stuff's channel. Okay. So yeah, that's what he's talking about. Yes, we saw your sausage. Did you see mine? Ha! My sandwich. Anyway, all right. So Bric-a-Brac physical bundle.
Yes.
So this is the whole thing right here.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can get all 3 issues, digital and physical, for $30.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. And then a print as well, like that Good King Wenceslas print. That's like the Frazetta type print that is also included in this too. So people can put it on their wall or whatnot, because it's Christmassy, but it's also like kind of not. So it's kind of
Christmassy, but also epic.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What's going up, J Money? Good to see you, buddy. The professor, yes. Look at me with my glasses on. This is what happens when you don't order contacts in time.
Oh, I just did today, actually.
Yeah, mine should be here, I don't know, sometime in the next week or so, hopefully.
Disposables for the win.
Yeah, totally. Ever since I discovered contacts, it's how I've been living.
Yeah.
So is there an example of the Frazetta style print before we move on?
Yeah, you can go down, just scroll down a little bit.
So we already saw it.
Yeah.
This?
So it's that one. Yeah. So that's the Conan one where he's holding the sword and then there's the bone. He's on the bones and then there's that naked woman next to him.
Yeah, there's the chick off to the side. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the classic Frazetta Conan. Yeah.
Right. So it's kind of like influence of that. It's hard to make Christmas characters look badass. So it's like you kind of have to. We've been doing a lot of referencing of like old comic book covers that with the last issue and with the first issue, we kind of were trying to make again, it's hard to make an epic looking cover with. Like,
I feel like you kind of your cover artist kind of nailed it here.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, because like the colors complement the line work. Kind of makes it move. The fire. It's good. It's well done.
Yeah,
I mean, it definitely feels epic.
Yeah.
It feels like this would be like. I don't know. This kind of puts me in the mind of like Battle Chasers or something like that from back in the day.
Oh, Joe Mad.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, I mean, it's got that feel. The colors and the line work complement each other to give it that energy, that vibe. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So mission accomplished. All right, cool. So this is the print you guys get with the
every physical book will get this print. Yep.
Excellent. All right, so the featured tier up here is the Bric-a-Brac physical bundle, and you get all 3, so you can catch up. If you missed the first 2 campaigns, you can catch up with this one right here.
That's right. Yes, sir. And then we have the digital number 1. So again, or number 3. So for anyone who, is across in Europe or wherever, can't afford the shipping. Then we have, for people who are previous fans, the the 3rd issue, single, very basic, vanilla.
Yeah. How many pages is it?
25.
25. Okay.
Each issue is 25 pages.
25 story pages. Ain't no ads.
No.
25 story pages. Not. Yeah. Well, I mean, see, that's the beauty of self-publishing. Like, the only ad that you put in there is something for your next book, maybe at the end.
Yeah.
And that's not even necessarily an ad. That's a preview.
That's right. And because it doesn't have ads, you can ship it through Medium or stamps.com or Media Mail. That's what you can do. Because like I guess that's the rule is that like if it doesn't have ads, you can ship it for a cheaper price through Media Mail.
Go through pirateship.com. Don't even waste your time with Media Mail. It'll take it forever to get there with Media Mail.
And I did stamps.com and it wasn't great for Media Mail. So wait, what is it called?
Pirateship.com.
Oh,
Hire matey, pirateship.com.
The best thing I've heard. Yeah, because so they just ship things like books.
Well, I mean, you gotta like put the address in, and all that jazz, and like print it out, sticker it, and then take it to the post office.
Yeah.
That's the cheapest postage I've found so far.
That's awesome because these books would be $2 for me in the U.S., but then obviously it'd be more difficult outside of the U.S., but still cheaper than going to the post office and figuring it out there. So I have my own printer too, and so that's cool. And so it's been I upgraded.
You find ways to make fulfillment as easy as possible.
Oh yeah, because it can get hairy.
Absolutely.
Luckily, I don't have that many backers. I mean, that doesn't sound. I'm not trying to say like.
I mean, I don't know, man. You're 99 backers right now. That's, for one person, if you're filling by yourself, that's nothing to sneeze at.
No, it's definitely not easy. But I mean, it does take a couple more days, couple days, but it's not like a huge thing. Where if I was like,
it's not like a couple thousand people,
and I would need
I got you.
hire other people. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
But
all right. So the double bric-a-brac number 3. So, whoops.
This is just it's kind of a it's kind of a
new pictures are loading. What's going on here?
It's kind of a
wow. All right, you guys saw that, right? That wasn't just me.
That was kind of weird, yeah.
Okay.
But the issue, and then half off. It's for people who want to, I guess.
Right. Well, I mean,
collect them.
Sure. Like if you wanted to have a reader copy, and then also, I mean, this is actually kind of almost a perfect thing for like maybe a shop that wants to check out the book.
Yeah.
I mean, also, if they wanted to check out a shop, if a shop wanted to check out the book, this bundle up here is great. Get the first 3, $60, get 2 of each one of those, and then that's two prints. That's something that they could sell in the shop. Again, I work in my local comic shop, so I'm always thinking about like, all right, how can I get more of this indie stuff in the shop? So it's a hard thing to get people to take a chance on on something that's not Marvel or DC.
But hopefully the cover is super awesome. I think we've got some awesome covers. So hopefully,
I think so,
so then we have the digital bundle. Just the digital bundle.
Just 1, 2, and 3, so you can read the stories.
Absolutely. And then we also have the t-shirts.
The shirt.
This time this was a new tier. I mean, they haven't been super popular, but hopefully maybe towards the end of the campaign, because I want some, frankly.
Well, exactly. I love sporting t-shirts. That's one of my. I love merch. And t-shirts are one of my favorite things. I used to design t-shirts. Used to do screen printing. So I love seeing well-designed t-shirts, and I love sporting well-designed t-shirts. Yeah.
Yeah, these also have the logo on the back. So if anyone's wondering, it has the logo on the back and the Rogues Gallery on the front. So it's pretty interesting. Sure.
Excellent.
Yeah, I know it's not a great mock-up there, but
trying my best. And then.
So then we have so there's an option we did with the last book where you could take, so 2 of every issue will be sent to a Boys and Girls Club or a church or a school or a library or wherever you decide you would like the book sent to. We will make it happen. And it's just something that I think is a cool thing because we are in the giving spirit season still. And just something that I think is appropriate. For that kind of thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then create a Christmas character.
Yes. This is a tier we've had since the very beginning where, again, it's a book about war. And I will also say this issue has the most battles, the longest battle, I would say, in the entire book. It's like about 12 pages. So there's a lot of fighting going on in this issue. So that means there's a lot of extras we need. So, if anyone is willing to put in the $90 and create a character, or maybe bring a character from their that they've created already, and
Right.
I
got a D&D character that's been kicking around in your head. Want to do a Christmas version of them? Well,
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the idea, is that the participation is something that I don't think we talked about, but it's another great thing that is available in indie comics, where you can have people collaborate with you, especially with the campaigns, because it really allows you to do that. Hey, Brian.
Yeah. No, I totally, man. That's what, again, doing these shows is like going to conventions. Like it's like having a constant convention, but it's like doing panels, right? It's like going to a panel, but your customers don't have to leave their couch, or they can take it with them on their phone to go to the panel. They can ask you questions, like, you can have other creators pop up, you can send out links. This is like being at a panel, but we don't have to all be in the same room, right?
Right.
When somebody with a bigger channel hosts a show and has a bunch of other, creators come to hang out. Tell me that is not a fucking panel from a convention done digitally.
Right. It is definitely that.
So this is the indie comic scene 2.0, 3.0, whatever the fuck you want to call it. This is how shit's done now with the indie scene. And you can see the mainstream is starting to copy this shit. Top Cow, Dynamite, they did the Elvira thing. Top Cow did Witchblade. They did Darkness, these Origins books and whatnot. Crowdfunded it, because people like having that prestige, limited edition version, and then they go ahead and do the regular version that goes into the shops as well. So,
right.
That's how this shit's done now. It's just I don't know. This is an amazing opportunity that we have here with this model.
Yeah, I agree.
And like you said, the interaction, that's what got me spun up on this. I'm sorry. The interaction, that's the reason why you go to conventions, right? So you can interact with creators. So you can find some cool shit at the shop, or at the show, get a chance to maybe get a head sketch, maybe, talk to a creator, but that's kind of what we're able to do here. Yes, it's not like physical, face-to-face interaction, but you still got regular conventions for that. This is you get to know people when they do regular live streams. You can't pretend to be somebody you're not when you're doing this shit all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No.
Right.
So, but yeah, the interaction. Create a Christmas character here, guys. Like I said, if you got a D&D character, I don't know what that video ad there is at the bottom, but I'm avoiding.
Yeah, I don't get that. It's like I was saying.
I ain't never seen that before.
Right. Yeah.
But all right. What else do we need to know about this book? What else? Oh.
Yeah, wow. I had to include that. Got to show people that I'm a fan of Christmas.
Oh yeah.
If they weren't already convinced.
Tug on the heartstrings. No, well played. Good job.
Raphael. This is Raphael. He's a really talented guy. And again, like I said, that's his new Instagram there, Raphael 1234HC. Follow the guy. You won't regret it, 100%. Or maybe, I think I hope that's his Instagram. I know his Instagram did get cut once, so he got actually that's not his Instagram anymore. I need to update that. I'll put it in the private chat, because you guys definitely need to follow him.
Please do.
He does some great stuff, and that's
pretty cool.
Yeah, these are fan arts. I mean, one of the things I love is just awesome fan arts from people, and I cherish them because it's a special thing.
Yeah,
it's super special.
Well, it shows the story is it's hitting its audience.
Right.
It's having an impact. I mean, people don't create fan art for stuff that doesn't move them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. Okay, that's his @ over at Instagram.
Yep, @ Raphael Sam _official with 1 F. Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can find him here real quick, and then I'll get his link. Copy. Ta-da!
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Not a problem.
Yeah, he will
Thanks for dropping
definitely.
the link.
Yeah, just give him a follow because he definitely deserves it. He's got awesome stuff on his page. So check it out for sure.
Yeah, this is some awesome fan art.
Yeah, I love it.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And this is just a fan. I think it's Fugitive Poems, if you know who that is. He's on Twitter.
Mm-mm.
He's a really cool guy. And this is Nerd Wonder, if you know who that is.
Oh, yeah, I know who Nerd Wonder is.
Yeah, very
I follow
talented
him.
illustrator.
Yeah. Ha, that's awesome. So how big is this story, man?
So this arc,
how epic are we talking? How many
it
issues?
is highly epic. But this arc is 4 issues. So
Okay.
like I said, so this arc will end with issue 4, and then going forward, we're going to continue with another arc that's more like, and I've been saying this, Indiana Jones style. So we're going to be kind of like, instead of going intergalactic, we're going to really explore the planet. And and it's going to be several years in the future. So Garrett's going to be older, has more of a, and the planet is starting to recover from the war, and just stuff like that. So,
Okay.
I won't say too much about what characters survive and whatnot, but it's going to be pretty interesting to see, how things go with the story. And just, that my whole goal is, again, to make a really lived-in Christmas planet and tell, Christmas stories. There's so many. I mean, those Rankin Bass movies had so many life lessons. I know that it sounds kind of cheesy, but if you think about it, a lot of the Christmas stories are really rooted in like a life lesson. Mm-hmm. Rudolph, be yourself. Don't care what other people think. The Year Without a Santa Claus, I'm sure, was about something. I can't.
It was about something.
But,
not
the
sure.
Polar Express as another one that I really love. That it's about believing in something even though everyone tells you not to, or even if it's not real, or if it is real. That whole movie's a little trippy, but I think it really hits like those beats that I think it's one of the best Christmas movies I think I've ever seen. Like the Polar Express, it really hits that beat of like what Christmas is.
You know what? I'm not sure I've ever actually watched the Polar Express.
Yeah, you should check it out for sure.
Okay.
But there's that, it's just hitting. There's so many unique Christmas themes, and it's about just becoming a better person. That's what Christmas is about. So it's just, and also being the best version of yourself, learning more about yourself, becoming a new person. Becoming better, just like all stories. But I think Christmas stories have that little extra bit of meaning because they happen during the holidays. So but yeah, like I said, I hope that the book can go on and on with different arcs and stuff like that. But I don't have a definitive end, but I would hope to think that it can just go on and on as much as possible. Kind of like a Sandman type thing, or maybe like a Invincible kind of thing, or
that actually answers the question. Like the kind of like that the I don't know if this is even a word, anthological nature of Sandman. It's very much like an anthology of different stories that take place in this world. And yes, there's a through line, but they seem like a bunch of disparate stories that come together.
Or I think a good example is Hellboy, is because once Hellboy is when he's it'll be when he's an adult, then he goes back to when he's a kid, or when he's in hell, when he's about to die, and then so I think that we could jump into the future, jump into the past. Okay. There's a lot of different things that we can do with the series, so I'm pretty excited about it. Because we're not always going to follow one character. We could check out what other characters are doing and what their journeys are, and not all arcs have to necessarily be 4 issues. So it's just a fun thing. So I'm excited to keep going with it, and
excellent. Epic is the word, and yes. I really do like this. I think this is awesome, and this would be awesome on a shirt as well.
It would be, wouldn't it? I think it would be super cool.
Like even if you didn't want to do like the background, just like the soldiers up front, and then like him on the mountain there, or the little mound, just all cut out. Do that on leave the white outline, but then just do a black shirt.
Yeah,
You
that
know,
would be pretty sick.
that would be cool. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe if you wanted to like leave the moon back there or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of different ways you could do it.
Oh,
But yeah,
yeah.
this would be badass on a shirt.
I feel like, yeah, the characters are kind of iconic looking, so they would look good on merch. Yeah, I
Definitely
think.
the silhouette is great on this piece right here.
Yeah.
Just absolutely. You know, great line work on both of these. Both
Yeah,
these
that one's.
covers.
I like this one too because like the fire, and again, like I said, this is like I would say the most intense issue because like we're really it's where the most fighting happens, the most the revelations happen. You know, characters reveal their secret intentions. You know, that kind of thing. It's kind of like the Empire Strikes Back sort of deal with this one. So.
Okay. And when are you expecting to fulfill?
Well, since we extended, our goal was February, but I think it'll be probably March or early April. You know, because we did extend, so it's like, you know, that definitely takes us back a little bit. You know, with
right.
You know how it can be that way, but like I said, we're still producing pages now, so
excellent.
As soon as possible, I will get it to you. You know, that's always been the goal. So.
Awesome. You're at 99 backers right now. 25 days left. 46% of the $6,000 goal. I think you can hit that.
I think I can.
Hit
Just
that.
trying hard to get on as many shows as possible and spread the word. That is.
Oh yeah. Yep. Get the word out there, guys. Do you have any questions in the chat? Frog G says need to hop later all and back this one.
Thank you.
Listen
Frog.
to the frog. The frog knows.
He doesn't. He never
later,
lies.
Frog G. Good to see you, man. Listen to the frog. So if you guys have any questions for Ryan about the book or, you know, about influences or anything else before we go ahead and wrap this one up, anything at all. These pages are great. I definitely would love to get talk to your artist and find out if Scotty Young is one of his influences.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I mean, he is. You know, he's from Brazil, so he doesn't speak a lot of English. But
okay.
I'm sure. You know, that is definitely. And I think you were mentioning Joe Mad as the other artist influence, and it's totally. You know, Joe Mad.
That cover, yeah, totally.
You can tell. I know what you mean by the Battle Chasers because the Battle Chasers has that kind of coloring where it's like.
Oh yeah.
You know, at night it has that kind of. I love Battle Chasers.
Especially like the. I guess wow, you can't see my mouse over here, can you? Wait, now you can. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, this part right here, like the highlights, like that kind of glow around it, and you know the vibrancy of the colors mixed with the line weights. Yeah, definitely a big Battle Chasers vibe with this piece.
Yeah. Man, I wish he continued that. He never continued. There's always like, oh, there's going to be a Battle Chasers 13, or was it 11?
Well, actually,
sure.
there is. He's paying somebody else to do it. Like he wrote it. Like they did. I don't know. They did a video game, Battle Chasers Nether War. It's a turn-based RPG type thing,
right.
And it's you know it was fun. It was a fun game. But you know I always wanted more. You know more comic book. So he's got somebody actually doing because it was a stretch goal with the video game. If they made enough money to make the video game, then he would do another issue of Battle Chasers. So now they're doing another issue of Battle Chasers, but he's not doing the artwork on it. He is just writing. He's paying somebody else to do the artwork. Yeah, I mean, I'm a little disappointed that but he doesn't do comics anymore.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, but he's just so talented, Joe Mad. I feel like. Well, I mean, you know, he's so talented.
What is it? Darksiders. I love all three of those games.
Oh yeah.
You know, the second one is probably the most refined. The third one's just a little goofy, but you know, I mean, cool character designs all the way around.
I think I'm looking at his Twitter right now. Finally, we give some news about Battle Chasers. The work on Ruined King took us more than expected, but the 32 pages of issue 10 are done. And we're working with Joe Mann on issue 11. Okay, so I guess you're right. It's happening. It is happening. Yep. Awesome.
Let's see. Do I still have the book? Yeah, here it is.
Oh, yeah, I got that one too. Yeah.
Yep.
So cool.
But
Love.
yeah, I mean, if you look at Garrison here, you know,
you're right.
that the kind of highlights. I mean, my computer monitor is totally giving a hell of a glare, but I mean, look at the
I see exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, and it's great. I love seeing it. I love seeing it. But
awesome.
Yeah. We got a Pops hanging out in the chat. What's going on? We got a Johnny Cage as well. What's going on, guys? It's good to see you. Do you guys got any questions for Ryan? Because we're actually getting ready to wrap this up here. It's been a great episode, and we've had a lot of fun talking about comics and especially bric-a-brac. Number 3 currently funding on Indiegogo.
Yes.
60. Let's see. It's 46%. 99 backers. That's awesome. I love seeing it. Let's get him to 100 backers.
That would be awesome.
Oh yeah, and 100 backers and more. Get the book funded. Yeah, the line weights definitely make me think Scotty Young.
Right.
Just like the way the cobbles are done down here, and this dragon. Where was the dragon? This dragon totally reminds me of Scotty Young.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I do a show called Do You Even Read with Ink Spots, and
I know him.
Yeah, we did I Hate Fairyland. And so there was a few dragons in there, and then this totally reminds me of one of Scotty Young's dragons,
Yeah,
it's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. I'm digging it. All kinds of different Christmas critters running around on Christmas World. But
and Pops, whenever, this next Monday would be great. I think I'll be free this Monday night, or whenever. So.
Excellent. Go hang out with Pops. It's always a good time.
Yeah.
It's always a good time. He gets a good audience over there.
Oh yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep, King League, what's going on, man? Yeah, you missed it, man. Like this was a good episode. Go watch the replay. This was fun.
Dude.
This was fun. Go check out the book. Link is in the description, and if you scroll back up in the comments as well, Frog G has also posted it because he had to hop. But all right, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Thank you so much for coming to hang out this evening. Anything else that you want to say as we're heading out here, Ryan?
Just like share helps if you can. If you want to back the book, that would be amazing too. But yeah, share really helps, especially as we come closer to the end here, because of the 60 days. It really helps. So that's all I gotta say. And thanks for giving me the time.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for coming to hang out.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, go back this book, and keep loving comics. We will talk to you later. Peace.